Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense, didn't just make thrilling movies, he studied them. He learned from the best, the films that shaped his style and inspired his storytelling. Today, we're counting down 10 classic noirs Hitchcock considered essential. These movies are full of mystery, tension, and unforgettable characters, and they'll show you why Hitchcock became the king of suspense. Starting off our countdown at number 10, Touch of Evil, Touch of Evil, Orson Welles' noir masterpiece. Corruption, murder, in a city dripping with crime create an unforgettable atmosphere. Hitchcock admired this film for pushing noir to its visual and moral extremes. The long tracking shots, morally gray characters, and tension-filled pacing make it a masterclass. It's chaotic, dark, and thrilling, with every angle and shadow amplifying suspense. The story isn't just about crime, it's about obsession, corruption, and human frailty. Noir at its finest isn't tidy. It's messy, intense, and morally ambiguous, and Touch of Evil exemplifies this. Hitchcock considered it essential because it shows how far noir could go, blending style, tension, and psychological depth. Every scene keeps you on edge, and the morally complex characters stay with you long after the credits roll. It's the perfect end to our Hitchcock-approved noir journey. Moving on to number 9, Out of the Past. Out of the Past is noir perfection, a film that masterfully combines suspense, style, and moral complexity. At its core, it tells the story of a private detective, Jeff Bailey, who is desperate to leave behind a dangerous past, only to be inexorably drawn back into it. Jean Peters and Robert Mitchum deliver unforgettable performances, embodying characters whose lives are defined by deceit, obsession, and the consequences of their choices. The story's strength lies not just in its plot twists, but in the moral ambiguity that permeates every scene. Jeff's struggles, his loyalties, and his vulnerabilities make him both relatable and tragic. Hitchcock, a master of suspense himself, appreciated how noir films like this explore the idea that one cannot escape the past. Every decision carries weight, every action has consequences, and the characters are trapped by their own flaws. The cinematography enhances this dark, tense atmosphere with heavy shadows, foggy streets, and carefully composed shots that create a constant sense of unease. The presence of the classic femme fatale adds another layer of tension, driving Jeff into situations where his choices are limited and often dangerous. Every frame reinforces the inevitability of fate, showing that suspense doesn't rely on explosions or overt action. It thrives on human psychology, moral conflict, and the slow-building dread that noir excels at. Out of the Past is essential viewing, capturing the very essence of noir: intrigue, style, and characters haunted by the inescapable pull of their own actions, keeping viewers gripped from start to finish. Coming in at number 8, The Big Sleep, Howard Hawks. The Big Sleep is classic noir chaos with murder, blackmail, and tangled relationships. Humphrey Bogart plays Detective Philip Marlowe, navigating a family full of secrets. Hitchcock admired films like this for their complexity, suspense that comes from dialogue, twists, and moral ambiguity rather than just action. Noir thrives on layered stories, and The Big Sleep delivers with style. Every character is a potential threat, every conversation a puzzle. The cinematography uses shadows and urban landscapes to amplify the mystery. The film's mix of tension, humor, and intrigue influenced Hitchcock's own heroes and anti-heroes. Watching it is like being in a labyrinth where every turn could be deadly. Hitchcock valued this approach because suspense is about uncertainty, complexity, and character choices. The Big Sleep is smart, stylish, and endlessly entertaining, a quintessential noir that shows why moral ambiguity and clever plotting make a film unforgettable. Sliding into number 7, Notorious. Hitchcock's Notorious blends espionage, romance, and moral tension. Ingrid Bergman is recruited to spy on a Nazi organization, and of course, romance complicates everything. Hitchcock admired this film because it builds suspense through relationships and trust, not just action. Every glance, touch, and hesitation carries tension. Noir thrives on moral ambiguity, And Notorious is full of characters navigating ethical gray areas. The spy plot is thrilling, but the real suspense is emotional. Who can be trusted? Who is manipulating whom? And when will loyalty break? Hitchcock's mastery shines in how the camera heightens intimacy and danger simultaneously. From shadowy hotel rooms to secret codes, the film is visually compelling and narratively tense. Notorious shows that noir isn't just crime, it's about human obsession, fear, and desire, wrapped in stylish storytelling. It's easy to see why Hitchcock considered it essential. The suspense feels real, personal, and emotionally gripping. Reaching number 6. Strangers on a Train. Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train is a textbook psychological noir. Two men meet by chance, and one proposes a deadly plan: swap murders. What follows is obsession, guilt, and moral ambiguity, the hallmarks of noir. Hitchcock loved this film because it shows how ordinary encounters can become terrifying. The suspense isn't just in action, it's in the psychological tension, in watching how each character reacts under pressure. The cinematography, especially the shadows and framing, amplifies the sense of dread. Hitchcock's attention to human fear and moral choices is on full display here. Strangers on a Train demonstrates that noir can be thrilling, stylish, and darkly human all at once. The story keeps you guessing, the stakes feel personal, and the moral ambiguity keeps your mind spinning long after the movie ends. It's the perfect example of Hitchcock's own principles applied to suspense, showing how noir can combine visual style with intense psychological storytelling. Breaking into the top 5 at number 5. The Killers. The Killers, based on Hemingway, begins with two hitmen walking into a diner and killing a man in cold blood. Brutal, right? But the film cleverly unfolds in flashbacks, revealing the story layer by layer. Hitchcock loved how suspense could be built even when the outcome is known, how the how can be just as thrilling as the what. The tension comes from character choices, betrayals, and moral ambiguity. Noir thrives on this sense of inevitability, the idea that characters can't escape their fate. Cinematography and shadow play create a foreboding atmosphere, while dialogue and pacing ratchet up the tension. The Killers influenced Hitchcock's own approach to suspense, showing that storytelling could be nonlinear, smart, and psychologically gripping. Watching it feels like peeling an onion. Each revelation heightens the danger, keeps you guessing, and demonstrates why noir isn't just about crime, but about the human condition, guilt, and moral complexity. It's a must-watch if you love suspense done right. At number 4, Laura Otto Preminger's Laura blends romance, mystery, and obsession, making it a standout noir. A detective becomes obsessed with a woman thought to be dead, only to uncover shocking truths. Hitchcock admired how the story explores psychological complexity rather than just physical danger. Noir isn't only about crime, it's about obsession, lies, and moral ambiguity. The cinematography enhances the suspense with shadowy interiors, reflective surfaces, and clever lighting that create unease. Characters are layered and flawed, and the dialogue crackles with tension and wit. Hitchcock appreciated films like Laura because they show how psychological intrigue can keep audiences on edge without excessive violence. The mystery of who's trustworthy and who's hiding something keeps you guessing until the very end. Preminger's pacing, the interplay between characters, and the obsession at the story's heart exemplify noir's appeal. Laura is a perfect mix of romance, intrigue, and suspense, the kind of film that would inspire Hitchcock to make ordinary moments feel terrifying and captivating. Entering the top 3 at number 3, The Maltese Falcon, John Huston's. The Maltese Falcon is classic noir at its finest. Humphrey Bogart plays Sam Spade, a private detective caught in a web of greed, murder, and a mysterious statuette. Every character is morally ambiguous, every interaction full of suspicion. Hitchcock admired how the story builds tension without relying on flashy action. Just dialogue, subtle gestures, and clever plotting. Noir thrives on shadowy cinematography and moral complexity, and The Maltese Falcon delivers both in spades. The film's clever twists, dark humor, and tense confrontations inspired many of Hitchcock's own heroes and anti-heroes. Bogart's wit and cunning make him endlessly watchable, while the femme fatale element keeps viewers guessing. From the very first scene, the audience knows something bad will happen, but the thrill is discovering how. Hitchcock respected this approach because suspense doesn't need a ticking bomb. It can come from character choices, lies, and greed. The Maltese Falcon is a blueprint for tension, style, and unforgettable noir storytelling. Just missing the top spot at number 2, Shadow of a Doubt. Hitchcock himself directed Shadow of a Doubt, and he considered it one of his most personal films. The story follows young Charlie as she discovers her beloved uncle may be a murderer. Hitchcock loved the tension of everyday life turning sinister. The idea that danger can hide behind the most familiar faces. The suspense builds slowly, using quiet, subtle moments, shadows, and expression rather than overt action. What makes it noir is the mix of innocence and corruption, family love clashing with moral dread. The film explores the duality of human nature and how evil can lurk in the ordinary. Hitchcock's camera work emphasizes this, creating unease with framing, lighting, and pacing. You feel the tension in Charlie's eyes, in the silent looks between characters, and in the knowledge that everyone could be hiding something. Shadow of a Doubt demonstrates Hitchcock's early mastery of psychological suspense, and it's easy to see why he thought it was essential noir. Every scene teaches you about fear, anticipation, and storytelling at its most chilling. And finally, the top noir film that Hitchcock considered essential. At number 1, we have Double Indemnity. Billy Wilder's Double Indemnity is the blueprint for noir. Barbara Stanwyck plays a femme fatale who's as charming as she is deadly, and Fred McMurray's insurance salesman can't resist her manipulation. The story of greed, deception, and murder is told with sharp dialogue and relentless tension. Hitchcock admired this film because it proves suspense doesn't need explosions, just the right mix of ambition, temptation, and fear. Wilder's use of shadows, darkened rooms, and morally gray characters set a standard that influenced Hitchcock's own storytelling. From the moment the plan to commit insurance fraud is hatched, the tension never lets up. Every glance and gesture carries weight, keeping audiences on edge. Double Indemnity isn't just about the crime. It's about the characters' inner struggles, their moral choices, and the deadly consequences. Hitchcock considered it essential because it shows how noir can combine romance, crime, and suspense into one unforgettable package. This film is a masterclass in plotting and psychological tension. There you have it, 10 classic noirs that shaped Hitchcock's imagination and storytelling. From femme fatale to tangled plots and moral ambiguity, these films taught suspense, tension, and unforgettable character work. Which one would you watch first? Drop your pick in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more cinematic deep dives. Your next movie night just got a lot darker and a lot more thrilling.